couple other things I want to do. First of all, I'd love to, when I ran for governor in 1991, we spent 68% of the state budget on education. This year we're spending 59% of the state budget on education. We're defunding the very apple our gaze. So what I propose to do is take some of that money we stripped away and put it back into the budget. I want to give every high school graduate in the state of Kentucky a $5,000 voucher for books, tuition, and fees to any institution of further learning within the state of Kentucky that will train them into employability. It's time we start thinking in terms of further education for everybody, not just higher education for a few. And to see these students deserve to be trained into employability, because if they don't, they're going to be a drag on us too. You know. So this is books, tuition, and fees. No pizza, rent, and beer. It's not a $5,000 bank account. They can't spend any money on creature comfort. It's a debit card. And when they present themselves to welding school, truck driving school, motorcycle mechanic school, UK, UL, Spencerian College, Thomas More, wherever they want to go, there's an advancement of them towards employability. When they go there and present that card, they'll get their books, tuition, and fees debited from that card. And so, you know, it may not last them through their entire educational process, but it'll give a lot of these kids out there in these poor counties some vision beyond the high school diploma. Right now, we've got 120 counties, 90 of them are poor as hell. And these kids out there in high school, from the time they enter high school, the only thing a high school diploma means to them is they don't have to go to school anymore. And they're going to be graduating into an $8 an hour economy. And, you know, so we need to let them, give them some traction, some square foot of turf that they can get a visionary foot on and think beyond the high school diploma. Whether the only thing it does is sponsor a discussion around the supper table with their mom and dad, but what are you going to do with your $5,000 Commonwealth incentive is what we're going to call it. And they get them thinking, well, maybe I'll try community college in the county next to us. You know, maybe I'll go over here to the welding school and learn a trade. You know, we need to let them know we're giving them faith, that we have faith in them, that we want them to succeed. And the really beautiful part of it is, not one penny gets spent on anybody until that person makes the internal decision that they want to go get trained into something. And then presents themselves at the front door of the place who's going to train them. It's not like building a $100 million building and trying to entice people to get into it. I hope that this entices worker training programs and educational institutions into the state. All the money gets spent into the state, so we're going to recapture a lot of it in taxes, and it's going to promote employment too. So I've been looking at this for 40 years, folks. That's as close as I can come to something that could be pretty self-contained and do something for the kids and do something for the education and employment. The next thing I want to do is I want to offer tax incentives to existing in-state corporations to establish state-of-the-art environmental compliance in the state of Kentucky. And you know, we talked about, you know, everybody talks about the environment, everybody talks about wanting to promote it. And we lost 82,200 jobs last year. About, in addition to what kind of jobs can we attract in here, we need to think about what kind of jobs we can retain. And so I think that this would help clean up the environment and anchor some of the businesses who are already here who may be thinking about leaving. Let's see if we can stay here and join us in trying to lift Kentucky out of poverty and trying to make sure that Kentucky still has a pulse and America still has a pulse. And try to gaze on this. Dee Riley and I are committed to this. It's been tough. I've put every last penny I've got into it, which is not unusual. I've done it in every other race I've been in. But this time, you know, I've never spent more than $20,000 on a race. Now, folks, let me give you a little bit of history on just why this is so important. I ran in 1983 as a Democrat for Commissioner of Agriculture. Spent $8,000, got 14% of the vote in the primary. Ran in 91 and 95 as a Democrat for governor. The party froze me out. The Herald leader and the Courier Journal would not mention my name. Would not even include me in any of the surveys. Tried to freeze me out. I got 6% of the vote. The next time I got 10% of the vote in 1995. I was going to run as an independent in 1999 when the Reform Party came to me and said, Galbraith, we want you to run the Reform Party. And I said, okay, and I took their nomination and spent $20,000 and got 15.3% of the vote statewide in the general election. It freaked them out. They didn't know what to do. I have run for Attorney General as an independent in 2003. Well, I ran for Congress as a Reform Party in 2000. ran as an independent for Congress in 2002, got 27% of the vote in the 6th district as an independent. That, I mean, they just shaking in their boots. Ran for Attorney General in 2003 as an independent. Went to 12 out of 120 counties, spent $20,000, got 110,000 votes. We need 400,000 votes to win this election next November, a year from now. So if we get to all 120 counties and we can spend $500,000 to $600,000, we can win this thing. Because we're riding a tidal wave. Everybody's sick and tired of it. Everybody's sick and tired of it. We've got Democrats and Republicans, party leaders coming to us and say, you got our support. We're going to help you. But we're in the formative stages. This little gathering right here is fantastic. This is exactly what we're trying to set up during these formative stages. We are just absolutely delighted to find this place. It is what I have in mind for trying to grow Kentucky as a tourist destination, as a fun place to bring the family, spend some time, spend some money, even if you're just coming from Cincinnati over this way, even if you're just coming from Lexington up this way. You know, this is the kind of place where we'd really like to see it grow, and we think it can. We are looking to find these places and get a core of people who understand what it's about and understand who won't get burned out over the next 18 months. It's easy to burn people out in political campaigns. I've done it in less than a month before. You know, so find the people who understand election cycles and who can understand that this is a long-term progress. You know, 18 months is nothing compared to your children's future and your future too. So what we're looking for is people to join in, people to give us some support, not only telling your friends about it and getting them involved, getting on the internet, sending us a little money. You know, I've got 5,000 Facebook friends. Dee has 5,000 Facebook friends. They each gave 20 bucks. That'd be $200,000. 20 bucks. You know, if you get caught with a joint of marijuana, it costs you a $100 fine plus court costs. I'm trying to save a lot of the court costs up front, folks. You know, a little something. An atom bomb is a lot of individual atoms going on off at once. And so that's what we're trying to do. We need 450,000 people. Understand it, give us a little support, tell their friends, get on the Facebook, get on the internet, network with their people, and to attend the larger fundraisers that we're going to have at places just like this in the upcoming year. Now, Willie Nelson has done 3 benefit concerts for me. I was riding down the golf course with him, and I said, Willie, I got to tell you, I really appreciate you spending all this time with me. Here you're an international superstar. You can be spending time with kings and queens and other superstars. Here you spend all this time with me. He says, well, heck, Gatewood, would you like to smoke pot, play golf, and look at women? Who else I want to be spending my time with? You and me, Willie. The nicest guy in the world, and I'm pretty sure he'll be coming up and doing something with us down in Lexington. But I think it's necessary that we network now, that we join together, that you understand the stakes that we're talking about, folks. You will never, ever, in the rest of your life, and you young folks, no matter how young you are, you will never get a chance to vote more directly for somebody who's looking after your individual freedom and welfare than you will in this election. And I would ask you to remember this. And I have run before, and if I was going to lie to you, I'd already been elected governor. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you being here. Let's hear it again for Paul Bushill and the rest of you. Lewis Mathis is going to get up here. Have you played it yet, brother?
Played a little bit here.
Okay, yes indeed. Excellent musicians. This is called the Backroads Tour. These are individual groups who have volunteered their time and their effort to come to places like this when we tell them we're going to have a little gathering. And they are terrific musicians. They are totally committed. And by golly, I hope that we win this so that they can all play at our inauguration and get the kinds of recognition that they deserve. Thank you all so much. And by the way, there's a couple of people here named Nancy and Pete who keep coming up and talking to me. Let's give them a hand too, Fred. Really appreciate it, folks. Appreciate it.